things will stick and some things will not. So once you accept that, you give yourself freedom to almost fuck up. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of that, some things may hit, some things may not, but I know one thing, it's like my intent is just to throw a little entertainment with also reminding people that I'm a realtor. So I could do both. I'm okay with it. The moment I'm just ranting for no reason, that's when I feel like it's off. But that's kind of that's the formula, I guess. And it's definitely not perfected, that's for sure. But it's a work in process. And as long as I know it's always going to be a work in process, I'm good with that.
Man, I love it. And you're creating some great stuff, and it's only going to get better from here. I advise this for everyone that we speak to. When you look at Joaquin's wall, we were having a conversation about this last week, me, him, and Kenny, and there was a lot of static pieces that are created by Keep Current Matters or whatever the companies are that push out these static pieces. Well, if you look around, you'll see those same static pieces on a lot of different real estate agents' website or page. So there's nothing real and authentic about it. So we told Joaquin, and we tell this to other agents as well, is that move from automation into personalization, right? People want to hear who you are. They want to hear your voice, your story, your jokes, your dog, your mishaps, like all those things. Like Kyle just showed me his photo library, and it's like 30 takes of a particular video. I would somehow put that into a video, be like, all right, you guys, like don't get into paralysis analysis. This video is not going to be perfect. I've been trying to do the perfect video for the last 30 takes. See how that worked out? Anyways, this is what I wanted to say, right? And then say your message, right? So, I think for you guys, like, don't overanalyze, don't over edit yourself. Put out a raw product. And if you fumble a little bit, if you make some mistakes, then cool, because people like to see someone that is 100% human. So Joaquin, really good stuff. I love what you've been putting out, man. And I think we could all learn from Joaquin. But like you said, it's like just getting comfortable. The only way that you're going to get comfortable is by starting to do that. So good stuff. I love what I'm seeing. So you guys, I want to share something with you once again from this book. If you guys are not reading this book, highly, highly recommend that you dive into this book. If you're not a book person, which I am, then go ahead and get the Audible, because we're spending a lot of time on the road. When I think about time on the road, I think about that as university time, and then calling agents, because I have tons of calls I need to make every single day. So I've been commuting for about 4 years now. And there was a time where a year I put 36,000 miles on the road in 1 year. All right. Some people look at that and think about, God, I couldn't do that. I could never commute. I feel it's all in the interpretation, right? So if you have good things to read, I'm, trying to learn some Italian, trying to, listen to podcasts, and then spend some time with my thoughts and call family members and team members. So highly recommend that you guys get this book. So I want to share this with you because it hit home to me. It says, you will never have a more powerful training tool than this. Get your mind strong, your body can follow. The true measure of an individual is determined by what you can't measure, the intangibles. Anyone can measure weight, height, physical strength, speed, but you can't measure commitment, persistence, or the instinctive power of the muscle in your chest, your heart. That's where the true work begins, understanding what you want to achieve and knowing what you are willing to endure to get that. Powerful, you guys. I want to see, Kyle, when I say that passage and you hear that, what is that?
Fuck, you're annoying. You fucking asked already. Stop asking. You're like a fucking bird.
Michelle, hey, you are not on mute. Well, good morning. All right, moving on. Kyle, when I say that statement, bro, oh man, never a dull moment in our lives here. Sorry if you have children on. Kyle, when you hear that, man, what are some takeaways from that? Not from what we just heard.
Yeah, I'm working on processing that.
Good job, Dewey, for inviting a guest.
We might need to run it back, but it means a lot. I've been reading every morning and stuff, and so I see similar things in different books, and it's, you know, it repeats itself, and there's a reason why people repeat these things over and over again in similar ways, you know. It's but yeah, I mean, it was good stuff.
All right, so Damian, someone that's read this book before, when I read that paragraph, you know, what does it say to you? What does that mean to you? Damian, you there?
Sorry, yeah, yeah. I actually read that book like 2 years ago. But I mean, again, to me, it just says that your mind is the most powerful thing that you have, and your heart is the driver of that. Like, you know, you can let your heart get in the way and scare you and make you afraid of these things that you might not have encountered before, but you use the combination of your heart and your mind to overcome all that, and you can do it.
Good. I love that. I love that. Let's just hear from a couple other people. Melissa, takeaways from that paragraph.
I mean, the importance of having your mind in the right state is just like, it's everything, really. That's what that meant to me. It's just, you know, everything is trickling down from there. So
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Kevin, how about for you, being somebody that's super athletic, that wakes up, hits the pool? When it says here, you know, understanding what you want to achieve and knowing what you're willing to endure to get it. That was powerful to me. So when you think about this paragraph, what does this mean to you? What are your takeaways from it?
Yeah, I think can you hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, to me, it's really about putting in the work, like you keep saying, right? Practice makes perfect. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? So the more you practice and the sharper that saw becomes, then the performance is just going to be second nature. And that practice gives your mind the confidence to really just get out there and take risks.
Man, I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's hear from one other person. Luis, how about for you, my man? When we say that paragraph, what are your takeaways from what I just said? Man, I'm still getting over her. She was mad at whoever she was talking to. That person was annoying.
She was tired of her, dude. So I don't even know. But yeah, man, like Kevin said, it's just getting used to it, because you know, I think it's more like getting used to the process or something, because what I do, or what I started doing, was again, I started reading books too a while back, and it's just the repetitiveness of you know, getting used to it, like, you know, in a way.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So you guys, I want to tell you, there was a time where I was never into mental conditioning, right? When I think back 10 years ago, mental conditioning wasn't anything I ever knew. I didn't even know what that meant, and how your mind is truly a mechanism, right? Or you think about it is that we provide the software for our, right? And that's how you have to think about it. I read a book once, it's called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it is looking at your mind as a mechanism, and what you feed the mechanism is what it's going to give you for output, right? And so I started really reading a lot of you know, not self-help books, but mental conditioning books, how to put yourself in a peak state, how to arrive in a peak state in a moment, right? How to feed your mind, just like we feed our bodies in workout and exercise. How do we feed our mind and work that muscle out as well? So mental conditioning is something that takes time, it takes practice, it takes effort and energy. But once you are there, there's really no turning back. I could never go back to a life of non-mental conditioning. It just becomes a part of your DNA and how you're wired as a human being. Doesn't necessarily come overnight. It took a few years and books and seminars and Tony Robbins, you know, CDs, but now it's like, that's who I am, and I'll never go back to non-mental conditioning. So whatever you guys are doing, we've had this conversation before, to really boost your mind, boost your mentality, to make sure that this is sharp and these two are aligned. It'll make things seem a lot easier in your business and in your life. So let's do this, you guys. We wanted to go over the script from last week. I gave everybody a challenge. Pamela, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say something about how you're saying. I was going to mention about, I don't know anyone on here who has done a marathon, but when we were preparing for a marathon, our coaches would tell us, when you get to mile 17, hook or crook, your body and your mind is going to say, I can't go any farther, right? But they're like, you have to push over that hurdle because you can, but your mind is going to tell your body's going to tell you can't. So wait, everything you're talking about, that's true, so but we were prepared to know that it's going to happen. And don't let that, don't let that overcome, all your hard work and just push that extra space. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that because I made me think about that when you're talking about it.
Pamela, how many marathons have you ran?
3. I walk them. I walk like 3 and probably like 5 half marathons way back when, about 2 years ago. Yeah, for Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Amazing. So it is 26.2 miles, and I don't care if you're walking, skipping, running. That is a long distance. So hats off to you. I run, but I've never ran a marathon, but I did read a book, and I'm glad that Pamela brought this up, that I also would recommend. It's called The Ultra Marathon Man, The Confessions of an All-Night Runner. This is all about, obviously, the mental part of running. This dude runs 100-mile races. This dude was running from one marathon and running to another marathon in one day. And it was all about the mental part of running. So highly, highly recommend it. His name is Dean Karzanian. I put the title of the book in the chat, but The Confessions of an All-Night Runner. I was visiting somebody at the hospital that was having surgery. I was there for 9 hours in the hospital. I read the book in one day. That's how locked in I was. I had the Grateful Dead playing in my headphones. I'm waiting for updates, and I'm sitting there just dove into that book, and it was a game changer. I remember when I ran my first 5 miles and I quit smoking cigarettes. I smoked menthol cigarettes for years, ran 5 miles, and I was like, I will never go back to cigarettes, and it changed my life. And so Pamela, I absolutely love that. So let's do this. Let's go through, I know that we had talked about going through the script, about using some of the data from the weather report or whatever other sources that you're gaining the data from, and to deliver that script. And so Kyle, I know you've been practicing it, man. So I'm gonna call on you to go first. I know you did this other day. So let's hear it to kind of set the tone for what's gonna be, what's gonna happen next. So are you ready?
Oh, I'm born ready for this one.
Show us your phone really quick, like talk a little bit about your process and how long that was taking you.
Yeah, so I was, the challenge was to make a little educational video about, what was going on in the real estate market. And so I took it upon myself to attempt this and had very many attempts at it. So needless to say, it helped me ingrain all these facts into my head. And so now when I've just been on the phone with people, when I'm doing my calls, it's super, I get into this stuff a little bit and they're just like, wow, really? Because I find a lot of this stuff freaking shocking. And so it's, it kind of is, I want to share it. So,
all right, cool, man. All right. So listen, for the people that know Kyle, how many people just on a personal, village member to village member have seen personal growth in Kyle? Right? How many people have seen personal growth in his communication skills? Right? And the way that obviously he's got God-given talent with a tremendous amount of energy and great communication skills. I've just seen him heightened it, and he's doing a lot of practice. So my man, really, really good job. But before we go over to you, Sonny, you had a question?
No, not at all.
Okay, cool. I thought it was a hand raise. All right, man, let's run it back, Kyle.
Sweet, let's rock and roll. So Elias, man, I'm glad you got to sit down with me here for a little while. It's my job to educate you on what the real estate market is doing currently right now. Right now, it's changing month to month, and as soon as people get into wanting to buy real estate, everyone and their mother seems to know more about the real estate agent. So it's important that I give you the right facts and the good tools to listen to the correct information. So first things first, I want to talk to you a little bit about what's really going on. So in the East Bay itself, over 30% year over year, 30% houses is less than, oh my goodness, let's run it back. So year over year, in the East Bay right now, there are 30% less houses for sale than there was last year. In some places like the Delta area, which is Pittsburgh, Antioch, Brentwood, Oakley, Discovery Bay, some of those sections, there's more than 70% less houses for sale than there was last year. And with such few houses on the market, brings out some crazy buyers, which brings me to my next case, is that year over year, so from last year to this year, the average days on market that a house would sit on the market was 32 days. Right now it's 22 days, but what we're seeing in the past few months is it's been even less. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a house come up for sale and then 3 or 4 days later, even the next day, it goes pending, because we are seeing that happen all the time right now. The next thing is the prices. So prices have been skyrocketing in every market, and almost it's like bare minimum prices have gone up 20% in most marketplaces, even more in some other ones here in the Bay Area. And I'm talking about like a 20% increase. So if you were to buy a house last year for 500,000 bucks, you've increased your equity in that investment 100 grand, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I just don't understand why people are waiting. It's not the time to wait. There's a lot of competition going on in the market. And, you know, to move further into it, we're coming into the millennial age, where millennials are going to be the main buyers everywhere. You know, millennials make up for 32% of the population, or 31% of the population, which is 70 million people. In comparison, the boomers made up for 26% of the population. So the millennials they're up there in the rankings. Now, they say that the peak buying ages for people are around the age 33. So coming up in the next year or two, a majority of the millennials are going to be hitting that stage. And so the statistics are showing that 70% of that 70 million people, which is going to be 50 million people, are going to want to be buying houses here within the next few years. And now with everyone's, you know, a lot of the millennials sitting at home, you know, raking in all this kinds of money, not having to pay rent or anything like that because they're living at home, you know, they've got all this cash and they're ready to rock and roll. So that's just what we're seeing is going on in the market right now. That's why prices are, you know, inflating a massive amount, and there's just a ton of buyers. And there's just no sellers. So, I mean, but we're ready to rock and roll. It's going to be competitive, but it's not going to be impossible.
Wow. Wow. Let's give him a round of applause, a reaction. I mean, really, really good stuff, because obviously, you know, that talking to Kyle, he is educated on the market, right? It is our responsibility to educate and advocate for our consumers and to know more than they know. Right? The stuff that you're pulling up, man, is really, really good statistics overall. And I think that the way it's delivered sounds like you know your shit, man, right? You've practiced this, you've probably gone over it multiple times. So when you're on the phone with the potential client, it can sound fluid and it can roll off the tongue. And so, man, really, really good stuff. You guys, let's hear from some of the takeaways from what Kyle just said. Just let's hear from a couple people. What were some takeaways that you guys got from that?
Buy a house from him.
Right. Right. I'm buying a house from him and I'm coming to his prospecting challenge. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Anybody else have some insight on that or takeaways from what Kyle just went through?
I like the millennial fact. That helps, you know, give people an idea on the influx that's about to happen again.
Totally. All right. Well, I'm glad that you spoke up, Martinique, because you're actually next.
Oh, come on. I can't go after Kyle. Oh, that's a setup.
You're next. Say, we're all different in our own right. So, Martinique, I want you to ask me, you know, how am I currently getting my real estate information? And then I want you to give me kind of a reality check, like Kyle said. Like, let me share with you reality, the reality of what is actually happening in the Oakland, you know, housing market. So we'll just start from there. So run it back, have a conversation with me, use your personality and do what you're great at, and you're great at communicating. So Martinique, are you ready?
Yep, let's try it.
All right, let's do it. All right, so yeah, we're having a quick conversation. So you just asked me.
Yeah, where are you getting your local real estate information?
Well, I've just been, you know, like reading on the news, and like I look at Zillow and try to gather as much information as I possibly can. And, you know, I know that houses are selling for over asking, and our friends just bought a house. They said there was multiple offers on the home, but I don't really know what all of that means. So I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head around things.
Right. So there's a report that comes out through California Association of Realtors that kind of gives a breakdown on what's going on in the market. So from that, I want to give you a little bit of insight. So there's a huge lack of inventory right now, which I'm sure everybody you kind of heard about. Buyers are pretty much paying like outlandish prices for homes right now. As a whole, the average days on the market in the East Bay, like Oakland, Hayward, is an average of 22 days. Normally, last year, 2020, it was 32 days. So you can tell that the average days on market, people are putting offers and bids in like as soon as they see the house. Lately, we've been seeing at like a week on the market. Homes have only been on the market for maybe a week, maybe a couple days. So people are becoming very competitive right now. Also, let's see, homes.
So let me ask you a question, Martinique. So,
Yeah.
so you said something a few seconds ago. Why are people paying so much over for houses right now? I guess I don't understand that.
People are paying higher prices to I always get lost on this because people are trying to come into the Bay Area, and is that
Okay.
I never know how to.
Like this is why we're doing this, right? We
Yeah.
want to practice. So you don't get caught up like this on a $20,000 client, right?
Right.
So, all right. So why are people paying so much over for houses in Oakland right now?
Because of the lack of inventory.
All right. And so when you have a lack of inventory, what does that mean to a buyer?
That means that the supply is down and the demand is up, which means
Yep.
we have to, it's just a little bit more competitive. People want everything that they see right now. So we have to.
Okay, good stuff. And then what else is affecting that? How did pandemic affect it, and how did interest rates affect why people are paying, high price for these homes?
Interest rates are super low, which is also, motivation for people to buy right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where are a lot of the buyers that are coming to the East Bay coming from?
Out of, I don't know. I don't want to answer.
Yeah, so
Not
it's safe to say that in this last year through pandemic, we saw this mass exodus from San Francisco and this great migration eastward, right?
Okay.
What happened is that you put cities on the map that were never well, not never, but weren't as popular as they have become in the last year. Reason being is that people wanted to move out to the suburbs, right? More Zoom room space, kids area for the dogs, backyard. The need changed because you discovered the inadequacies of your home in the city. So it drove a different type of buyer into the East Bay. So now you have a new pool of buyers. Then you couple that with low interest rates. Then you couple that with no inventory. Everyone's circling in the same pool. So it's going to essentially always drive prices up.
Right. Okay.
So I think that you're on track with how you're thinking. It's about putting the pieces together.
Yeah, I got to practice.
Right. So here's how you compartmentalize it. How did pandemic affect the housing market in the East Bay? Right. If we're talking about the East Bay,
right.
How do interest rates affect the market, and how does supply and demand affect that? Right. And so these are the things that you need to be able to speak intelligently about to the client so they understand, like, wow, big picture. Martinique helped us understand the macro view of what is going on. So when you're telling them they need to pay 20% over for a house on a minimum in Maxwell Park to win, they're not like, well, we're going to write 800 and see what happens.
Right.
Right. They're going to listen to you because you've educated them so much from the onset. All right. So Martinique, I think that you're on track. Let's do it one more time.
Okay. So should I run it? I'm gonna just say, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been actually looking on Zillow. I've been watching these consumer reports, and my friends just purchased a house in Maxwell Park, so just kind of been picking their brain. Man, I heard it's so competitive. They paid about 20% over the list price on that home, which I thought they were bananas. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting my info right now.
Yeah, so there's a weather report that comes out for the East Bay and all different counties, and it's been saying that there is a lack of inventory for sure. Buyers are paying historically higher sales prices right now throughout the whole East Bay. Average days on market for an East Bay house is about 22 days compared to last year, which was about 32 days. Also, the interest rates are crazy low, which is also an accelerant. For people purchasing right now. And then, the pandemic just drove folks to kind of explore different areas to live in because everybody's working from home. So all those factors kind of have created a supply and demand issue for the housing market.
I mean, do you guys agree that was way better that second time around?
Totally. Look at us. Come on, growth.
Right. You're an athlete, right? You come from an athletic family.
Totally.
I think personally, from just listening to you, being around you, having coaching sessions with you. I think Martinique's the type of person that just needs a little bit of push. in the
Push,
right-
yeah.
right? But
And going behind Kyle too. That shit doesn't help.
so Martinique, it's getting better, and it will continue to get better. Hey, listen, if I asked Kyle the same question 3 months ago, he'd be like, hey, it's hot. Wanna buy a house? No, I need a little bit more color, bro. Can you just slow down a minute and tell me a little bit more? But no, it is hot. Gotta move now, because it's going. Gotta go. Want to buy a house? That's how it felt with Kyle. Now he has that same energy.
Education.
It's like boom, 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 facts. So he coupled his God-given talents with this energy with now raw facts and data, and he's blending the two, and it's
Killing
working well. And that's what I'm seeing happen with you, Martinique.
Hey,
So
love it. Thank
good
you
stuff,
for that.
good
Yeah.
stuff. All right, let's go over to Miss Terry. Miss Terry, you're going to go next. Because, and here's why, Miss Terry hit me with some facts the other day about new development and all this, and she's getting the moniker of the new development lady and all these things. So we're just going to run it back with you, Miss Terry. So same thing, asking me, how am I getting my current information about the real estate market, and what type of market are we currently in? So I'll just presume that you've asked me that question. Same thing, I've just been looking on Zillow. My friends just bought a house out in Brentwood, which we thought they paid way too much, but that's their prerogative, not ours. And yeah, so I've just been kind of just reading some local stuff. So I was hoping to get some insight from you.
Great. Elias, would you allow me to give you a little bit more information on what actually is going on in the market?
Oh, yeah, please, please.
First of all, I want to let you know that I've actually been living out here in East County since 1998, and I've actually had the opportunity to see the growth out here in the Pittsburgh, Antioch, and Oakley area. So just so you know, the average prices out here in this area range between $400,000 and $600,000. And before, let me give you an idea of why we even came to East County in the first place. We actually were living in San Francisco, 640 square foot, 3-room studio. And so when we decided to buy a home, we actually got pushed this way because of pricing. But since then, pricing out here in the East County area has increased like over $100,000. It had you bought back in the 90s. So this is what I need you to know, why everything is crazy right now. First and foremost, you have to understand that basically the government kind of controls everything. And what's going on right now is there's very low interest rates on borrowing money. What do you think that means, Elias?
That we're not going to run into as many short sales?
We probably won't, but just to bring you back into why I'm asking you that question is because right now interest rates are low. If money is cheap, what do you think is going to happen?
More people are going to get the money?
No, more people are going to get the money and more people are going to spend the money. And that's what's going on out here in East County. Yeah. Basically, people are shopping with the money. What has happened? Are you working from home right now?
I am.
So basically everyone else is too. And what they found out is because of the ability to basically now spread their wings, they're heading out here to the East County area. And what that offers them is basically more space. And it also offers them more buying power because they get a larger square foot home, which out here in the East County area can range from 2,100 all the way up to 5,000 square feet. Wow. Just so you know. So people in the Alameda County area are paying $1 million plus. They actually can get that same home out here on an average of between $600,000 and $800,000. Wow. So I just want you to know one of the reasons that the market is kind of crazy right now is because of interest rates being low, and also because people are working from home and now they're able to basically spread their wings and go out and start shopping. Is it crazy? Yes, it is. And another reason why I wanted to let you know why it's crazy is because people right now, there's so many buyers and we don't have no inventory. There's no homes. But I also want to give you the opportunity to know that because I work with the team of agents called Fast Agents, that we have basically a network of agents that basically work with each other as far as basically giving information on homes. So what that does for you, Elias, is that allows you to basically be ahead of the curve. So what I mean by that is that there's properties out there that go onto the market. Let's just say there's one home. Everybody's offering on it. There's 35 buyers. What we do relationship wise is we get to know most of the agents here in the area. And again, I mentioned to you that I've already been out here since 1990. So these relationships are strong. So basically every day I'm advocating for you by basically building on to these relationships and getting to know all these listing agents out here in the area. And if I don't know them, one of my team members would. And so that gives you a better advantage to possibly get your offer accepted. Do you mind if I ask you where you're at in the process?
I'm ready to buy a house in East Contra Costa County right now with you.
Well, let's go. But before we do that, I want to also give you the opportunity to know that not only because the inventory is so low with resale homes, there's opportunity in new homes as well. We actually have KB, Taylor Morrison, we have Meritage out here building homes, and they actually have run into the same problem with inventory because as the builders are watching how the demand is, they're kind of releasing the homes slowly. But again, because of my reputation and knowing most of these sales agents are in these new home communities, I basically got an extra plug for you to get you on these long waiting lists that you might hear that are in most communities.
I mean, we'll pause there, Terry. Absolutely incredible. Terry, I wanted to ask you a question. What did you do before you were in real estate?
I did family childcare for 20 years.
Okay, so you have an ability to control a room, but to educate a room, right? And I see, that's why I asked what your past was, because it's part of the present and the way that you communicate. You have this way, like, let me tell you what you need to know. This is what you need to know. I'm going to give you the opportunity to get some information that you need to know. Like you when you talk, I believe it sets the tone for what's coming next. Like people are like waiting, like, okay, like you just have this ability to control the conversation in a way that I feel like, oh, yeah, absolutely, Terry, absolutely. I mean, do you guys feel that, or do you guys feel that similarity? Yeah.
So it's the same thing with kids. When you're watching children, you're basically setting them on a schedule and saying, now this time is over with. Now we're going to move on to do this time. And now we're going to do, it's just basically like, if everybody that's kind of listening right now basically thought of it, if you care for your children, you wake them up in the morning, you tell them it's time for breakfast, and then you take them in and say, now it's time for me to drop you off at school. I'll be back at 2. It's the same thing with clients. They need the guidance and they want the information. Mommy, daddy, what are we going to do next? It's the same thing with the clients. It's basically, you do have to take the control and kind of direct them.
You know what? I thought when you started talking, I was like, was she a teacher? Was she a lawyer? Like I felt that. That's why I had to ask. And like really, really great job, Terry. Like people are saying, I could listen to Terry all day long. It's the way that you control the dialogue of a conversation. It's not like I'm just spewing everything out. Did you get that? No, it's like I'm setting up. Here's also what you need to know. Boom, boom, boom.
I would also like to mention too, when I first started in real estate, I used to assist Pam because she was already in the business and I would help on the weekends. And she said to me one time, when are you going to stop playing with those kids and come do some real work? And so that's how I got into real estate. But I also wanted to emphasize that along with that, when you first came onto the team, you couldn't just, how you guys are doing it now, she would send you in the back room, give you the contract, and until you could sit down with a client and basically explain that contract from the top with the date all the way to the end with signing, you were not even going in front of a client. So it was good training, a lot of training.
Good. And you know, that's why we're doing this, right? Like exactly. I want everyone to be prepared when they're sitting down talking to the market, because there's other agents out there, right? There should be no other reason why you go work with somebody else once you're talking with Terry. I feel like she is trustworthy. I feel like she knows her shit. I feel like she's going to guide me throughout this the process. She's going to be an advocate. She's going to educate me. And I know that she's going to lead me out in front. Why should I shop for any other agent? So really good stuff, Terry. Let's go to Demian. Demian said, I want to go next. So let's run it back, Demian. Same thing. You asked me, where am I getting my information? How am I retaining or getting educated about the local real estate market? And for me, I'm just going on Zillow. talking to my friends, they just purchased a house over in Oakland in Maxwell Park, and they paid, I think, something like $200,000 over. So we're just kind of stepping our foot into the market. And so I guess I'm leaning to you to kind of educate us on, what's going on.
Got you. And once again, where are you currently living?
So we live in San Leandro, and we're going to be moving to Oakland. I just got a job at Kaiser.
Got you. Well, just to let you know, the market is surging right now, especially in the East Bay. And a lot of that is because of the mass exodus from San Francisco. Like, a lot of people are seeing the value of moving across the bridge and even farther east, like towards Antioch and Brentwood and Bay Point. And especially now the BART line goes out that way. A lot of people are seeing the benefits in moving further out. Now, that to say that causes sort of a ripple effect as people are leaving San Francisco and coming east, is making the prices in the East Bay go up, and the competition as well, being that there are so few homes on the market. Like, there are even less homes for sale this year than there were last year. So again, that supply and demand just makes it a little more competitive, but not impossible.
For sure. Why is it so competitive in Maxwell Park?
It's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, it's an up and coming area. People like those style of homes, and it's kind of like the perfect balance from what I've gotten from my clients, the feedback I've gotten from my clients. They're not necessarily in a downtown area, but they're close enough to everything to where they see the value of being in a place like Maxwell Park.
Yeah, for sure. And then for us, like, what in your expert opinion, what do you think is a really good strategy when we go and start looking at homes and potentially want to write on a home? What do you believe is a good strategy to win?
A good strategy to win is just being competitive and knowing what the current market is doing, and working with someone like myself who is an Oakland native and resident. Like, I've seen the trends, and I can help you to be realistic about the process. But again, my greatest advice is to be patient and to be persistent in terms of what you want, and to also leave your options open. If you can check off as many boxes as you want on your wish list, the better. But it may not fit all 10 boxes, but as long as you're realistic about what you want, we can get it done.
I love it. And to me, and it brought me back to a quote my old mentor used to tell me. He's like, looking for a 10 out of 10, it's almost an impossibility.
Yeah.
This is about building wealth in real estate, not finding the perfect kitchen. So like you said, I want you to be open-minded, and I want you to be patient. What I hear from Damian is a tonality that is very calming. And when he talks, it is relaxed. Like, I don't feel like, oh my God, like I'm nervous and he's making me nervous. And oh my God, like, there's this laid back style about you that works really well, but it's really, really good info. And it sounds that it's natural info from you. So man, I thought that was really, really clean. And being that local advocate, right? You are in Oakland. You've seen the trends of Oakland. You've seen how Oakland has changed over the last 5 years, and how the places like Upper Diamond, Lower Diamond, the Laurel, Maxwell Park. I met a person who bought a house in Maxwell Park back for $200,000. And she said that home sold for $1 million in Maxwell Park. Her jaw dropped. Right. So it's like, here you are, someone that's seen the trends of Oakland and what's going on, then understand, like, hey, I could be in Maxwell Park. I can go 4 blocks down and be in a total different pocket neighborhood that's gritty, and the price is vastly different. So being that local expert is going to play a huge part in your success. So man, I thought that was a really, really good job. Any feedback? Go ahead.
Before I went, I wanted to compliment Terry, because that was really good how she pointed out that she was the person to work with because of her knowledge and her relationships. Like, that was super cool to me. So before I went in, I'm like, damn, I wanted to at least segue by saying that, because I want to take something away from that. And as well as everybody that talked, Martinique is super articulate about the way that she explains things to people, and that was very thorough to me. And I'm trying to pick up all these notes. Kyle's energy is just ridiculous, but again, all this shit is just really helpful. Even though I have some experience, but being on these calls and seeing all you guys do this is really helpful. So
And you know, and it's good that you say that, because a lot of times let's just say pre-pandemic, right? We would go to a training, we would go to an event and be like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Let me write that down. I'm gonna try to put that into my flow. I liked what you said, or I heard an audio book. But now you get to hear like real time. These are your brothers and sisters. All right, how does Terry say? How does Melissa say? How does Kyle like? Ooh, I like that. And then we could come together on Friday. We can do this again. And so we're hearing more and more from each other. So it's helping everyone like gather more information that they can use in their own presentations. I've seen everyone on this call grow and continue to grow. And it's because of the collective wisdom, right? I believe in the collective wisdom. I believe myself as a moderator, right? Let me just ask a question that's going to get the train going down the tracks and then have us all feed into that. So Damian, really good stuff, man. Leverage the team, leverage the success of the team, the relationships that we've built, and let the client know that we go in hard with our research, right? We're calling the pendings, we're calling the listing agents, we're getting as much information as we possibly can. We're going to share with them how many offers were on each home so they know what it's going to be like and what the competition pool is going to be like in that area. You're going to go in hard with the research. You're going to go in hard with the relationships, and you're going to do everything that you possibly can to make sure that they get their offer accepted and get the best information. So Damian, love that. Ben, man, if you have a second, Ben is an experienced agent, tons and tons of experience. Ben, did you want to provide some insight on this? And you know, I know you work with a lot of sellers, how you're explaining the market and this portion of it and how you're helping to educate the consumer. Do you want to chime in on this, bro?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have the camera turned on. I was getting dressed.
No worries.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. So I think, let's see, who was it Pam or was it Terry who was talking about like the government keeping interest rates low? That's like a huge thing that I'm pushing right now. I mean, rates are low, inventory's tight. Like for a long time, I think urbanism was in. Like people wanted to be in San Francisco and Oakland and lofts and condos and all that. But then, you know, the pandemic hit and then people's mindset changed. And when I'm telling people about like, you know, now's the time to move, I tell them, well, so urbanism, right? Like being in the cities, that was in for a long time. And now people want to be they want to be out in the suburbs, and that's why prices are going up. How long is that going to happen? Well, I'm not a fortune teller, but what I can tell you is that people wanted to be in cities for the last 10, 15 years, I think, if not more. And how long will people want to be in the suburbs? I think probably more than that. I mean, this is something where people are going to put down roots, and those cities are going to get better, and they're going to get like a little bit of the flavor of the cities with like more cafes and more restaurants. But I think where we are now is here to stay. And in terms of interest rates, I tell them like this administration has said that they're committed to keeping home ownership available or making it accessible. And so to me, that means keeping rates low. And so if low rates mean more home buyers coming out of the cities, and people are into being in the suburbs, and I think it's like the perfect storm for prices to keep going up. So move now, sell now, make your decision now, because I think you're better off selling now and moving on to your like next home. Yeah.
Really great stuff. I mean, when you think about this, and Ben has tons and tons of experience, but the urbanism conversation, a lot of us have said it, but the way that it was articulated from Ben, it was a little bit different. So I think what we're hearing is all these, like, I know for a fact moving forward, I'm going to hear certain things from all of everyone's presentation. I'm going to hear urbanism. I'm going to hear the leverage of the team. I'm going to hear expert inside information. I'm going to hear year-over-year sales are down 20% in particular communities. That's why we're doing this. So Ben, really, really good insight. And I like that thought process. Like there were so many years where like almost like the what are they called? Where the word is hipsters, right? I'm a hipster. I want to brew beer. I want to grow a beard. I want to live next to a cafe. I want to have this cool artist loft. I want to have my buddies over. I'm going to try whiskey. There was like that mentality, right? And then it changed. We're like, well, I want a yard. I want to be able to I want a garage now. And I'm going to get an old car and I want to put it in the garage. I want to have my kids riding their scooters down the road. Like
totally
changed, right? And I've seen it in this last year. And so, yeah, you went from this, man, I want suburban or urban and cafes and bars and things like that. All that stuff was closed. They got a true appreciation. We're like, man, it would be nice to have some space. I don't want to have to work and my wife is right there. She's on that side of the house. Kids are playing outside. So I like how you put that because it really made people understand what is happening. So I love that,
Yeah.
that approach, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Well, I think it helps to give people like, they can see it, right? For a long time, people wanted to be in the cities. And
Yeah.
now the cities they're kind of run down. People are like, well, now I want to be gardening and have my dog outside and, you know, washing my car and all that kind of stuff. So
Totally. Having
Yeah,
some
tastes
sunshine,
change.
sitting in the backyard with some sun and having some tea, you know, seasons are changing, man. And like you said, Ben, like this is causing cities that were, you know, not necessarily totally on the map, but now it's causing this influx of money. So now what's happening is that you have more money, you have more commerce happening because more people with the money are moving to these cities, right? Look at
Yeah.
East Contra Costa County. Look what's happening out there, right? You have
Yeah.
tons amount of money that's coming out there. Now more builders are going to go out there, more shops, more restaurant, more dining opportunities. So it is creating communities. And this is a big deal, you guys. So Ben, thank you for your approach on this.
No problem.
Pamela, go ahead.
I just wanted to mention about Stockton, you know, everything everybody's saying, but Stockton, they've had such a bad, you know, horrible crime. No one would even think about going to Stockton. But now Stockton literally is like Oakland. I mean, you have nice areas, you know, you have the Lincoln District places. If you were there, you would not know you were in Stockton. You would think you were somewhere in Oakland. And you know, price point, they can't even do Lathrop, the New Home, River Islands. It's like 600,000 is your base price. So now everything is influx into Stockton, and that's your last time, you know, opportunity, a window if you're gonna be close to somewhere near the Bay Area. And it's not too late, but you got one little window of Stockton. So anybody who's looking, I mean, take some time. It is a really nice area. They still got kind of horrible areas, but Stockton is like, it's amazing. And I think now people are starting to they know it already, actually, they realize. So just something to think about.
I got a referral call yesterday, Pamela. Actually, Michael helped me with a little bit of feedback on some of the new developments out there. One works in Palo Alto at Stanford as a medical assistant, and then the husband works in Fremont. He's like, there is no way that we can even come close to affording anything in this area. We have 2 dogs. We don't want to live in a condo. We don't want to live in a townhouse. And he's like, we've been doing all of our research, and Stockton is where we landed. We don't mind doing the commute. And there's actually a commuter bus that runs for, you know, for Stanford to you know, help her with the miles on her car. So you're right. Stockton is on the map in a big way right now. So good stuff. So you guys, before we wrap up, I just want to kind of go around the room and get some insight. I thought, and hopefully you guys think that this session today was really, really productive. There were some great nuggets. We'll continue to do this because I think we're on to something special. So I want to go around the room and I want to hear what some of your takeaways were from this week. And was there one thing that you heard or a series of things that you feel you're going to be implementing into your conversations? Let's hear from Dewey. Dewey, I know that you've been on, you had a guest on earlier, but Dewey, you want to chime in on this and tell us what your takeaways were?
Oopsies. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. It reminds me of back when Kenny used to be like, you need to be on this channel to get your news. You need to be on that channel and that website and this website. And so it's been a long time since I've done that. It's just, I've been, you know, just in it and winging it. And so, you know, hearing all the stats and the numbers, it's like all good stuff. And it's, you know, it takes me back to the days where I had to sit down and read all these articles. And so I need to do that again and practice that, you know, master that script. Kyle crushed it. So I don't know why you would put Marnique after him. That was fucked up.
Because we set the bar high.
But yeah, it's all, you know, super good stuff.
Like, you're swinging it. You're not, because what you're doing is that starting out early, obviously reading and doing the research and making the calls. Well, now you're showing so much homes. You're obviously getting a sense of the data because you're in the data, right? And so you're able to share, and you're constantly, you know, on social. And so you know the game because you're in the game very, very heavy right now.
Yeah. You know, big facts. I can, you know, give personal experiences, but you know, the national stats is probably what's going to show them that, hey, I don't just do this within my field, but you know, like the stuff that you don't see me do to build my business is, you know, exploring all the markets, or like learning, you know, the market, what's happening across the US, just so that I could be a better asset to you. So, but all good stuff nonetheless. So I'm glad I hopped on.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you being here. Let's go over to Lamont. Lamont, for you, takeaways from today, and what's something that you heard that you feel like you can instantly apply into your vernacular?
Yeah, I couldn't hear the question.
So what are your takeaways from today? And what's one thing that you heard that you can apply into your presentation?
It's basically adding more facts and just getting my flow together, basically. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, getting the flow together, getting the facts together. Good stuff, Lamont. Melissa, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session, and was there something that you heard that you could instantly apply?
Well, I said this before too, just about the practice. I got goosebumps. Watching Martinique transform in one go was amazing. So that made me feel inspired. And then I wrote it down, Terry's line, would you allow me to give you, I can't read my writing, but whatever her line was really good. Would you allow me to give you some more information about the real estate market? I thought was really great.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Terry, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session. And did you hear anything that you could add or apply to what you're currently doing?
Some of the more specific stats that Kyle was saying, definitely, being more specific. But I think, like you told Dewey, because you're out there, you kind of, can just, you don't have to always have specifics, but you can actually give the live stories of, what's going on, even if it's your personal background or, current, what's out there.
I think you do a really good job at blending your personal third-party stories and then what's going on in the market. And I think that, and I say this all the time, I'm a third-party story junkie, right? I infuse third-party stories, and with hard facts and data. So I think, Terry, you do that really, really well. Third-party stories help in this business a lot.
I want to share one real quick. The client asked, you keep telling me about Antioch, but they have the largest crime. And I said, every city has crime. I actually can take you to some of those houses that, in Antioch where the crime is. You want to buy crack, you want to buy weed, I could take you there, but I'm your realtor. I'm educating you on purchasing a home that's going to be long-term. I'm not going to take you there to the crime areas. I'm working for you.
Yeah. I mean, what if they want to buy a house from you and then go buy some crack right after? That can be arranged. She's like, I can do that.
I can help you out.
My biggest takeaway is Terry's got the plug.
I have the plug. I can get you there.
All right. So Kyle, how about for you, my man? Rapid fire takeaways from today's session. Is there something you heard that you could apply?
Yeah, so definitely what Ben said. That blew my whole world away. I wrote it down too. I mean, it just makes so much sense, and it's something that I haven't even thought about because, yeah, big city living was a big thing for a long time, and people moved out because they wanted more property, but it's only a matter of time before the city start opening back up because everyone's not going to be so scared about being in close quarters anymore. So people are going to be going back, and interest rates might go up. So that could be a level out point. I mean, that was one of my major takeaways from today, definitely.
I love it. I love that the mind is working, man. Good stuff. How about for you, Pamela? Rapid fire takeaways from today's sesh.
Kyle's stats and Terry's dominance dominated that conversation, just broke it down. I love it.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Ben, let's hear from you, my man. Takeaways from today's session. We appreciate you being here.
I think I like the energy. I think my big takeaway is going to be is the energy. I think I've been just way too analytical, man, and not enough just heart. I like the heart. I like the energy. I like that. The younger agents are all about the soul. You know what I mean? They're super excited to go get it. I think that's something I'm just going to bring to the next conversation with clients. Just be like, yo, this is a house, man. You should be excited. This is where you're going to live. Come on.
I love that, Ben. And you know what? What happens is sometimes we become a cerebral player, right? That we operate from our mind, not our heart. And so it's easy to become a cerebral player if you're super analytical, and that's how you're wired. So I love that. That's your takeaway from today, Ben. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Damian, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session, and what's something you heard that you could apply?
Again, Ben's information about the urbanism and the effects of flight to the suburbs, that was really cool. That was invaluable. And again, like I said, Terry providing that information about value of an agent, because sometimes it's hard when trying to compete for clients to tell them why they should work with you as opposed to somebody else. So I like the way that she explained her value. And yeah, obviously, again, Kyle had a wealth of information and stats that he was ready with. And I would love to be able to be more rapid fire like that with stats.
And he pulled those from Slack. The script is in there, as well as the market update from the weather report. So feel free to look at that.
Yeah.
And there's tons of great articles in there.
My
So
bad. I was in Texas doing college tours, so I missed you guys last week. So I was trying to.
Four colleges his son got accepted into.
Improv.
Congrats, man.
Nice.
Back though, I'm ready to hustle. I got to make some money for college.
That's right, my man. That's right. Well, congratulations to the family, brother. Seriously. Let's hear from Kevin. Kevin, how about for you, my man? Takeaways from today's sesh.
I really like Dimian's pace and tone, and I tend to get so overexcited about the data that I need to like calm down and kind of mirror and match, I think a little bit better my energy.
Yeah, I love that. And because, hey, not everyone gets as excited over math as we do sometimes, right? It's like, ooh, I love that. Let me talk about year over year stats, huh? What does YOY even mean? Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you. So yeah, Kevin, I think that kind of pick and choose your audience, right? If you feel that they are not the people that are super analytical, have some fun, build some different type of rapport, but infuse that, right? So that's a really good observation, Kevin. How about for you, Joaquin? Takeaways from today's session. All right, we'll come back to Joaquin. Luis.
Man, I've been seeing Kyle's excitement, man. That's what, like his energy, man. That's what I think it's something I want to, because I feel like I'm an energy kind of person, but Kyle's is above the top, and Ben's same what Kyle said. People are gonna start going back because I heard a podcast where people are leaving California and going to Texas, Arizona, but they're gonna later find out, when this pandemic ends, gonna say, oh, you know what, I'm missing California, something like that. So I think it's the same thing, San Francisco or East Bay or California, Texas, whatever. So yeah.
Good stuff, Luis. I appreciate you being on. How about for you, Joaquin?
Yeah, man, I think I got a little bit out of everybody. The way Miss Terry just dominates the conversation, it's really inspiring. I feel like I gotta do a little bit more of that. Sometimes the conversation flows, but there's a lot of lack of guidance, I guess. And the way Miss Terry does it, I just think is dope. So I gotta infuse some of that when I talk to clients.
Man, I love that, Joaquin. And it's a really good takeaway. So I want you to think about this when you're having conversations. Framework, right? Here's the framework of the conversation. Here's what we're going to cover. I want to educate you on this topic and this. So let's get right into it, right? I think what Terry does very well is she sets the framework for what's coming and what she's going to build upon. So be cognizant of that, Joaquin. And once you're able to identify that, you'll start to be able to slow down, like, let me build the framework section by section. So that's a really good takeaway. Martinique, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session and what can you apply?
Yeah, same. Kyle's energy, of course, his like accuracy with the facts. Miss Terry's just dominance with just giving me mama vibes. Like, you gonna listen to me. This is what you need to know. So listen. And Dimian's, his smooth, he's just super smooth. I just took a little bit of everything from everybody's conversation and then I applied it. And then of course my growth, because I was scared of shit and then I kind of got it. So yeah, it's just practice. And Elias, I want to just commend you because you show up every time and you give us big love, big energy. Like, you are the shit. I just thank you, period.
Oh, hey, thank you. You guys are the shit.
Showing up is half the battle.
Right, that's right. And Martinique, watch when you go next time, how much even more smooth you're going to be. So
yeah,
good stuff, Martinique. Really
Kyle, I got to get with you. Kyle.
Do it. Martha, how about for you? Takeaways from today's session. If you guys missed last week's meeting or yesterday's meeting, Martha got in her first contract, $1.5 million.
Girl.
So Martha, takeaways from today's session.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked Ben's, obviously I took a little bit from everybody. I liked Ben's urbanism and suburbanism. And I like how Terry just kind of directed you and kind of like what Martinique said, I'm mom and you got to listen to what I got to say.
I love it. I love it. And Terry, it's a great quality to have. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a great.
Yep.
So Martha, once again, congratulations on your deal. You worked your ass off for that. So really good job. Let us know if you need any help, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sonny, how about for you takeaways from today's session and what can you apply?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. So today I learned a lot about using data to get your clients interested in the market so that they have a good stance and understanding. So they're not just blindly running out there, putting in offers that are making no sense. I got a lot from you, Elias. You over here, always giving us so much information, help, assistance, support. I get a lot of it from you, man. You're just always killing it. Kyle, his energy.
I learned from you guys.
He brings that charisma. He brings that characteristic out of him that I always see at Walnut Creek every day. It's just that energy and that I don't know, continuation of keeping up with that. I'm like, how do you do that? This guy probably has to be on crack. Like, there's no way. And everyone else.
Terry's been hooking me up with the plug.
Yeah, and Terry, oh my God, she just like very well spoken, well mannered, someone that just wants to help and understands the situation that you're in, and no matter what, she'll just give you the facts straight up. I love that. And I gathered a lot from everyone today, just listening and hearing everyone talk about their little data points that they have on the East Bay, and I can use it in my dialogue later on. Just gotta make it my own somehow.
That's right, Sonny.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. And you know what, you guys, I've known Kyle a little over a year now. Knowing Kyle for this long, I never thought that people would put data and Kyle in the same exact sentence, right? Like they would put energy. Oh yeah, for sure. But like just to see that growth and like the things that you're doing, it's really good stuff. It's a good observation, Sonny. Let's go over to Armando. Armando, takeaways from today's session.
Yeah. So what I really liked was how Kyle has that. He has that yin and yang balance with the data and the energy. And that's definitely something to strive for in communication, because when you have that energy and then you're inserting that data into it too, it just makes your communication a whole lot stronger. And also too, what I noticed from Terry was that not only that did she have that dominance in her communication, but what I picked up was she was interacting with the client too. She wasn't just telling the client information, because what I've noticed is that sometimes when you get too much into the telling phase, the clients kind of just end up zoning out. And maybe we can speak from it too, because whenever like someone's telling us something, maybe they might be going on a little bit longer, we kind of like zone in and out. But then when you're interacting with that client, you're keeping them engaged in the conversation.
Totally. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate that dialogue and that insight. Jay, how about from you?
A lot of people setting the bar on this call. Just want to say that right now. A lot of amazing things happening. The true measure of a person, which you cannot measure, is an incredible sentence. Working on that, wanting to live that. And also taking away what Terry said about guidance and even scheduling. Looking at it like you're taking care of kids. That's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Good stuff. Yeah, really good stuff. I knew you had some type of background like that, Terry. So really good stuff. Great flow. Let's hear from Miss Pamela.
I had already answered the question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Great job.
Okay.
Let's go to Michael Spivey.
So let's see, Marnique, it was just awesome just to hear the transition from that first go to the second go. Like everybody said, for Kyle, just his energy, bringing those numbers to the table, like it truly showed as you scroll through your camera roll, all those takes, that proper preparation prevents poor performance. Like you coming back through and saying it live, it showed right there. Let's see who else. Terry, you just bring your storytelling skills along with matching that with actual facts that, really bring that full picture together and, really give the proper knowledge to the client in a way that they can take it in. Demian, just his tone, just everything that, he brought in, and just overall hearing these calls and knowing that it will transition. I thought this was a great call just for everyone. And, yeah, I'm excited to implement these for myself and also just take this. Like it was a really good experience. I really enjoyed this call.
Good stuff, Michael. Appreciate you being here. Let's go to Robert, and then Kyle, I want you to get Herson on the line, if that's who just walked behind you. Okay, Robert.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I think my major takeaway is confidence. I think if you move with your client's true interest and heart, then it's okay to kind of nudge them, to push and pull them, as long as the goal is not your paycheck, but rather, the better for them. Then it's actually a benefit to prod them a little bit. But you can only do that if you're confident. And I think some of the people that went today did a great job of demonstrating that confidence.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love that, man. You better not step into a freestyle battle not ready to spit some bars, right? I think about this, you guys, all the time. You guys are walking into this. You guys better know what to say and how to say it, and it should come out smoothly. So Robert, that's good stuff. Good observation.
Yeah, the other thing real quick is Dewey be cracking me up, man. Dewey be having me laughing over here with his ad lib.
What'd I do?
Yeah. Hey, voted class clown, top producer, came in number 2 last year, man. Dewey just has fun. He has fun living a great life and producing at a high level. So he keeps us all smiling. Good stuff. So let's go over to Dan Trujillo. Hi, Eleanor. Congratulations.
It was on mute.
Oh, hi, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Okay, so Danny I think he's driving. So we'll wrap up there, you guys. Sorry we went 11 minutes over, or 10 minutes over, but I felt it was powerful. So I'm going to post this in Slack. Feel free to share it. I'm going to post it on YouTube right now. Ben, make sure to share that article with us. You better not step in a freestyle battle. I'm not ready to spit some bars. That's right, man. Hey, listen, you guys, I am super, super grateful for each one of you guys. I cannot tell you how proud I am to see your guys' growth, because when we first started doing these sessions, some of us were still a little gun shy. We don't know each other. I don't know if I want to speak up. I don't know if I want to hear him to call on me. Now you guys are stepping in the ring, and I really, really appreciate it. So thank you. We'll have more people speak next time. See you guys Friday, same place, same station. I'll actually be in Walnut Creek tomorrow, so I'm hoping to see some of your smiling faces in person. But absolutely crush your day, and thank you for everything that you give to this team, you guys. We appreciate you.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.